In a small village surrounded by vast green fields and rolling hills, there lived a humble farmer named Kenji. He was known for his hard work and dedication to his crops, but what he cherished most was his beloved horse, Hikari. Hikari was not just a means of transportation. She was Kenji's loyal companion and a vital part of his daily life on the farm. One fateful morning, as Kenji prepared to head out to the fields, he discovered that Hikari was missing. Panic surged through him as he searched every corner of his farm, calling her name, but there was no sign of her. The villagers noticed Kenji's distress and offered their help, but despite their efforts, Hikari was nowhere to be found. Days turned into weeks, and Kenji's heart ached with worry. He missed Hikari's gentle nicker and the way she would nuzzle his shoulder when he returned home. As he worked the fields alone, he felt the weight of her absence. The villagers, seeing his sorrow, encouraged him to move on and consider getting another horse, but Kenji refused. Hikari was irreplaceable. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the fields, Kenji decided to take a walk to clear his mind. He wandered further than he ever had before, venturing into the nearby forest. As he walked, he heard a faint sound, a soft whinny that tugged at his heart. Could it be Hikari? Following the sound, Kenji pushed through the underbrush and emerged into a small clearing. To his astonishment, there stood Hikari, grazing peacefully. She looked healthy and content, but there was a wildness in her eyes that Kenji had never seen before. It was clear she had been living freely in the forest. Overjoyed, Kenji approached her slowly, speaking softly to reassure her. "Hikari, my dear friend, I've missed you so much." As he reached out to touch her, she stepped back, cautious and unsure. Kenji realized that Hikari had tasted freedom and was hesitant to return to her previous life. Determined to win back her trust, Kenji decided to spend time in the clearing, bringing food and water for Hikari each day. He would sit quietly, allowing her to approach him at her own pace. Days passed, and slowly but surely, Hikari began to recognize him again. She would come closer, nibbling at the grass while keeping a watchful eye on Kenji. One day, as Kenji sat in the clearing, Hikari finally approached him, her eyes softening. He held out a handful of sweet apples, and she took them gently from his hand. In that moment, Kenji knew they had reconnected. He had respected her need for freedom while still showing his love and dedication. With patience and trust rebuilt, Kenji decided it was time to lead Hikari back home. He gently placed a rope around her neck and began to walk slowly toward the village. To his relief, Hikari followed willingly, her spirit still intact, but now ready to return to the life they had shared. As they approached the village, the villagers gathered, their eyes widening in disbelief and joy. Kenji smiled, feeling a wave of happiness wash over him as he led Hikari back to her stable. The bond between them had grown stronger through their time apart, and Kenji understood that true companionship requires both love and respect for each other's needs. From that day on, Kenji and Hikari worked together on the farm, but now there was a new understanding between them. Hikari was not just a horse. She was a partner, and Kenji had learned the importance of allowing her the freedom to be herself. The villagers often spoke of the lost horse and the farmer who patiently brought her home, a tale that reminded everyone of the power of love, trust, and the beauty of freedom.